age on this section, a lower extension. Views of the rear facade are only visible from the parking lot. This is a building rear facade in the 1960s. And in the 1960s as well, as the time that they built this type of staircase, and you can see that this is just a brick facade with no type of any kind of architectural detail. There was an extension that took place in the 1960s where they extended the building towards the south, and this is a building during construction and after it was completed. That extension was added in the 1980s, and at the time the Land Preservation Commission decided that the rear facade doesn't have any architectural merit, and that was approved. So this is the extension also that took place in 2010. And this is the rear facade of the building as it is today. You can only see this from the parking lot. Looking west. So in essence, what we are proposing as part of the renovation of the education department is just to remove the curtain wall, the precast curtain wall at this section of the building, and install a glass and metal curtain wall to bring in more daylighting into the education department. As you know, once you get into the museum, go all the way to the end, past the cafeteria, and turn to the left, there is a gallery there, and this is the education department. It's a very dark area, and what we're trying to do is just to bring more daylighting into this area as part of an interior renovation. This is a dark area. Very dark, very ugly, and there are also offices that have no windows at all. I'll skip through the plans and show you the drawings showing the existing and proposed facade details. And these are the before and after. So this is the existing condition, and this is the proposed alteration. In essence, it's just remove the concrete precast curtain wall and put a new glass and metal curtain wall. Same view look at east. This is existing and the proposed removing all that precast curtain wall and putting a new glass and metal curtain wall. And here's a view from the museum. The application was presented to the Land Preservation Commission last week, and it was approved with the condition that the new metal panels, instead of being painted to match existing cast on, will be painted with a different color. We thank very much the support of Councilmember Laurie Como, who put together a coalition of all council members and sent a letter of support for this project to the Land Preservation Commission. I'll be happy to answer questions.
All right, let's take a few questions. Do you have any questions? Yes. How does this affect the community on a financial level?
I think it would enhance the museum, it would enhance the education department, and it would allow our kids to have a better time when they go to the museum. The museum, as you know, is a not-for-profit organization, and so all the dollars that they have, they're really invested on the building and the programs that they have in the community. So I think that in terms of affecting the community will be pretty much a positive outcome in terms of providing more education opportunities for the community.
Another question? Yes. Small.
The financing is coming from a variety of sources, including a commitment from the city and also private funding that the museum has been fundraising on its own.
Okay, one more. Ms. Sarah?
So my understanding is that based on the start time, it won't disrupt the education aspect of the museum, like the children will be able to come in.
Hold on. What am I? Right here.
So my understanding is that it won't, based on the start time, it won't disrupt the students coming in, because when you're planning on starting, children will still be able to come in and enjoy the museum, the education portion, and you're kind of working around that, is my understanding, correct?
Yes, except that the project will take probably around 9 months of construction. So what the museum is planning is just to relocate the education department to other empty areas and other galleries that they have within the building, so that the education department remains active. And then during that time, that area will be closed out, but the education department per se will be functioning elsewhere within the building.
You got one more? Let's do one more, yeah.
Thinking about the potential cost of education programs, and given that there are other entities with unknown costs for education programs, how will this affect the cost of like staff summer school or programs that you provide for children that are not free?
What I can say about it is that the museum's goals is just to provide a lot of programming and activity to the community, and throughout the years, by presenting that master plan, we've just been renovating the building and making conditioning to make it for a more positive experience. So I know that some of the museum's financial resources are dedicated to brick and mortar type of projects, whereas there are others financial resources that are really dedicated to programming and bringing more activity. So I think that those are different kind of separate pots of money that they complement each other, but I don't think that one is being done at the expense of the other one.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so moving on, we're going to go to the New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission application presentation. For this, I'm going to ask our Chair of Transportation, Fred Baptiste, to come up. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, everyone. On Wednesday, June 14th, the Transportation Committee convened and we considered the two applications which are going to be considered by the full board tonight. The applications that we received are for Norwood Car and Limo Incorporated for renewal of their TLC license. We also received an application for Brooklyn Van Lines for renewal of their DOT license. They're a borough-wide operation, so they need to get their license renewed with the DOT as opposed to the TLC. At this point, I would like to call up a representative from Norwood Car and Limo. Please come to the front. Thanks. If you just tell them a little bit about your business and your application.
Good evening, everyone. I'm from Norwood Car and Limo. Our office is like 32 blocks down here on 590 New York Avenue, between Midwood and Rutland. What we do is every day we deliver people who have Medicaid or Medicare, going to different hospitals in Brooklyn. For instance, Kings County, Brookdale, Methodist hospitals, Brooklyn hospitals, and all the clinics. And we've been around, if you all know about Norwood Car and Limo, we've been around for more than over 3 years already in this neighborhood, on this community store. And right now we decided to renew our license again because we do that with TLC every 3 years and the time is up. So that's why I'm here tonight. Because we've been giving you guys punctuality and decency as long as you go into the clinic. It doesn't matter any time, we will be there for you. Any questions?
At this point, we'll take any comments. Are there no questions? Seeing none, keep it moving. At this point, I would like to call to the front. At this point, we'd like to call to the front representative for Brooklyn Van Lines. Again, Brooklyn Van Lines is looking for a renewal of their license with the DOT.
Good evening, its board, as well as the community. Yes, can you hear me now? You can hear me now? Thank you for this opportunity to come to review our application of award. I didn't even know I was speaking in the mic. All right, we are here tonight to renew our application. This is renewable every 6 years with the Department of Transportation. And the TLC is every 2 years. We have renewed TLC last year. So we come before you tonight. We were in business for over 20 years, from 1997 on to today. And we were happy to continue to serve the community. And we want to find out what is your questions, what is your issues that I can address or we can address. Any questions? Seeing none?
So again, these are the two applications considered, which will be recommended for consideration by the full board tonight. Thank you.
Well, while you're up here, I'll introduce you. This is one of our newest board members that wasn't here earlier, Mr. William H. Boone III. Dr. Boone. All right, so far so good. Now, we're going to deal with this issue on the agenda, number 6. The ULURP land use application presentation. This is the application for BFC, as we all know about the Brooklyn Armory. We'll see the presentation a number of times already. So what I'm going to do is ask Michael Liburd, the chair of ULURP, to come up and give us a synopsis of what this is, and then we'll go from there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Can you hear me back there? Yeah. All right, good. I'm Michael Liburd. I'm the chair of the Landuse and ULURP committee. Most of you already know about the Bedford Union Armory project that BFC has been developing along with the EDC, Economic Development Corporation. We're way along in the process. We had a committee meeting on June 13th to hear a presentation from BFC. The presentation was essentially the same presentation we heard a number of times. We let them know at that meeting that we could not approve as a committee the application if it included a couple of things. One were the condos, and two was the way the affordable housing was put together. At minimum, those things couldn't happen. So the week after that, on the 19th, there was a public hearing of which many of you attended, and that was an opportunity for you all to speak about your feelings on it. There were many people who were not interested in having the Armory in its current form, and there were some people that spoke positively about it. So I want to give you both sides. The majority of the people were against the Armory in its current form. Tonight is the board's turn to vote on the Armory. The committee voted after the meeting on the 19th, and there were 15 committee members out of 22 present. There were 15 noes, 0 yeses, and no abstentions. So our recommendation to the full board is to vote no on this project. And in its current form, and what people should know in this room is that this process is continuing. So the way the land use review process works is that the first stop is the community board, the second stop is the borough president, the third stop is the city council, the last stop is the mayor's office. The city council person, the borough president, and the community board have all said that we will not support it in its current form with condos and with the apartments in their current state of affordability. However, it's going to continue past us, okay? What BFC and EDC have told us is that they are working on a new proposal. They're not at a point where they can present it tonight, but after tonight, our piece of it is done technically. So we've asked them to stay involved with the process, and what they've asked us to do is give them the community's recommendations, which we've heard over and over and over again, So the committee is going to put together some recommendations and forward it to the executive committee, and that document will go on so we can at least have a say of what the community is looking for, since they know what we're not looking for. Okay? So that's where we are right now. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Good evening, my name is Eric J. Kelly, Second Community Leader for New York Communities for Change. Now, you're saying tonight, sir, if you vote no on this level, it can still pass up to the other three levels, they can still say yes. Dang, all right.
Correct. The only good news there is that the other two levels, Eric, the other two levels, the only good news is that the other two levels are consistent with our perspective right now. And, okay, but the last one is the only one that hasn't weighed in, and that's the mayor's office. As far as I understand, you can override. Yeah, yes, Kid.
I am Skip Roseberg, now Community Change. I understand that that your committee we want to know, but do you get to recommend things such as making this a land trust so that you can have control, and that way they're able to really have the sports facility and some of the other things that are promised but may not come in the form that we have?
It's been made clear to the community board that if we don't provide recommendations, then all the work we've done over the last 18 months will not be taken into consideration going forward. So the answer to your question is yes.
Let me personally thank you for your efforts.
I want to. Yes.
Michael, I want to thank you and your committee. For those that know, my name is Rabbi Goldstein. I did this for a long time on this board. I have a very basic question. Why were the speakers limited to 30 minutes on this one item? Read your agenda. Let me read. Public comment period. Exactly 30 minutes. Concerning the Bedford Union Armory, 1 minute per speaker. That is not correct, and it should not be. There's got to be more to the talk.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, let me clarify. Last week, on the 19th of June, we had a public hearing. Everybody who wanted to speak was here that night. Our public comment period tonight is for anything on the agenda. If the agenda was put together in a way that it looks misleading, that it's just about the Armory, the public comment period tonight is not just about the Armory. It's about anything on the agenda. So that's inaccurate. Any other questions about the Armory? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so my question is, no offense, I see a lot of older people in here, but and y'all voted no to this community center. But for me, like I'm young, I'm 22. For us young youth that's trying to get out on our own, why do you vote no? I live in the community. I live on Old Avenue, so I'm a part of this community. Why are we not voting so many young people trying to get on their own and learn responsibility?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Let me give the young lady an answer, please. Can I please give the young lady an answer? Please. Can I please give the young lady an answer? Thank you. Young lady, we're voting no. I'm trying to answer your question, sis. You ready? We're voting no because the project is not where it needs to be yet. Okay? And we have so many demands based on here in the community for the last 18 months. There's been hours and hours and hours of public conversation about this, and it doesn't reflect everything or really most of the things that the community wants. So one of the things that I want you to think about, we can talk about it later if you don't fully understand right now, to have public land that's owned by New York City and to put private condominiums on there, just fundamentally, philosophically, that really doesn't make sense to us. All right? So this is not about not having a recreation center. That piece of it, I think most people will say, is a pretty good idea. But there are other elements of it that need to be worked out. Any other questions? We can take 2 or 3 more questions. Yes, Amy.
I just want to commend the young lady at 22 years old stepping forward and having an opinion. My question is, Michael or Mike, is it that we have the mayor as the final say, or is the city council the final say? So what I'm saying is the mayor is the final say.
Is that a fact? City Council final say? Okay, I thought the mayor could. Excuse me, please. Can we have one conversation, please? So I could be mistaken. The city council has the final say? Or the mayor's office?
But just, hold on, listen. The process after us, it goes to the borough president's office, it's going to city planning, and then it goes to the city council. And that's the way it goes. It's not.
Okay. Come on, please. Yes, sir. Can we let this man ask his question, please?
I'm born with New York image to be changed. That's right. The last word does go to the city council, and that person can say no to this deal, and she's sitting right in here, Lori Cullen.
Okay. Please, let this young lady speak in the back, please. Quiet down, please. Yes. When what?
When will community know when those recommendations are?
Before they have to go to Borough Hall within 6 to 8 period, so by the end of that period. So I think our 6 days ends, Carmen, do you know the date? 60 days of ULURP process ends in the next month. So by the time that ends, we'll have to let folks know. So we'll probably put it on the website. Okay? Yes, sir.
They presented to you that you said no to 3 parts to it. Armory Dome, where the recreational center will be, affordable housing, and then the 3rd tier, which is the condominium building, and all of us do not want, because we own that land with our tax money. So since that's the last presentation, did you mention to them that we have several politicians, Senator Hamilton, Mosley, Clark, and everyone, that have documented in their newsletter what they stand for, specifically since I grew up in Crown Heights and I benefited from having the opportunity to go to a good technical school, that they were going to do STEM programs, we were going to do a technology center where our people get educated to work at Google and to work at all these companies. So since we get, instead of a condominium building, specifically a few people own this property, we can have technology centers where all of us get fortunate and get educated. Why is it only BFC partners? As all of us, when we buy things, we go for 3 bids, 3 different developers that can give us competitive financial proposals that meet our needs for Crown Heights.
Well, I am not going to answer that question. I'm going to let the person from the Economic Development Corporation answer that question, who's much more qualified in terms of the bidding process, okay? This is Lydia Downing.
Sure, hi, thanks for the question. We did do a competitive RFP for this proposal. So we put out an RFP in 2013. We received several responses. While we were evaluating those responses, we also did an extensive amount of community engagement. We had several public meetings where we heard from the community about what they would like to see in the project. And BFC was the proposal that best met both the community needs and the city's requirement that it be a financially feasible project. So yes, we did, to your question, go through a competitive RFP process.
Their proposal met the community's requirement, but it has been documented over and over again on technology centers, not a condominium building.
I think the gentleman asked about a technology center as being part of this project, and actually that is part of BXC's proposal. They have a tenant, Digital Girl, who plans to provide free STEM education to local community members.
Well, I have Lydia, I got you, sir. I have Lydia here. Just to confirm, the last approval process on this, is it City Council or is it EDC or is it the Mayor's Office? Just to confirm.
Sure. So after the City Council votes, the Mayor has an opportunity to approve the project or deny the project, and then the City Council can override his veto with a 2/3 majority. So it passes like a piece of legislation by consensus.
So the City Council has the final say, that's correct. Yes, sir. Can we please quiet down so Mayor can answer his question?
I'm knowing that BFC is the worst developer in the whole world. Why would they choose BFC?
I think you just answered that. So from their opinion, they chose him. Last question. Yes, sir.
I know that STEM is a great program. All these great things, but will the people that live in the community might not even be able to use the STEM program?
One or two more questions. Yes, ma'am. Please quiet down so we can hear her question, please. So if you were listening to what I said, the ULURP committee is going to put together recommendations, okay? And everything we do in the ULURP committee is completely transparent, first of all. So secondly, all the recommendations that we've heard, we're not going to make this up out of thin air. I don't think there's going to be anything in there that's new. But if you look at our public scoping document, which we produced about 2 months ago, that public scoping document probably contains 99% of everything we're going to put in the recommendations, okay? So the committee will be involved in putting the recommendations together. One last question. Yes, sir.
My question is for the woman from the Economic Development Corporation. If one of the criteria that I heard for the proposals was that it be economically feasible. Now, economically feasible for who is my question, because you're asking about building something that sits on Landuse with our taxpayer money, but there's something that will eventually displace us, and the ripple effects of it, all our rents are going to go up. It's economic warfare. So, and we already have enough comments going up around here. So economically feasible for who? That doesn't make sense.
Sure. No, thank you for that comment. It's really important. So just to be clear about what I'm referring to. We want to make sure that the city is saying that we are going to be able to deliver a recreational center, affordable housing, and other uses in the Armory. Let me just answer your question. Sure. So when I said financially feasible, what I meant was when the city says that we are going to do X, Y, and Z thing, we want to make sure that the developer is actually able to deliver it. Now, what I heard from you in terms of the concerns that you have, and I think many people in this room and this committee has very clearly expressed that that the current program is not meeting the community needs. We hear that. We are working very closely with the developer, with the city, to try to find ways to adjust the program to make it more responsive. But we also need to make sure that we are doing it in a way that is, making sure that the city is following through with what we're saying that we're going to do. So right now we have a project that we know we can get done. The things that are being asked for from this committee and from other folks are going to could cost tens of millions of dollars, right? And so what we're trying to understand is how can we get funding to do that? How can we make sure that we are putting forward a proposal that will ultimately happen? And so that's what we're focused on. I hope that answers your question.
Follow up? Yeah. Lydia. The question is, who in the community wanted the condos?
So I think when we did community outreach, we talked a lot about sort of trade-offs, right? Of how we could find ways to make sure, for example, one of the things that we heard loud and clear from the community is that a swimming pool was one of the desired uses, right? And that was not part of any of the original proposals, right? So what we have been trying to do in negotiation with BFC is make sure that they are able to pay for the things that they are trying to do. Now, we have certainly heard from the community throughout this process that the condos are a significant sticking point. So what we're trying to do now is negotiate with BFC to understand, is there a way to remove the condos and get and still have a financially feasible project? So where is that money coming from, right?
Can you please let the lady finish her response? Hold on a second, sis. Can you please let her finish her response? She's got a microphone. Well, that's going to be the last question. We have to move on, right, Mr. Chair? But thank you very much for your questions, and we'll be back soon.
What about the historical content? How many million? What about the
Hopefully you'll stay around. We're about to go into public comment, so we'll have some questions, and then we'll be voting on this later. So just hold tight for 1 second. So we're going to move forward now to our public comment period. And it's exactly a 30-minute duration for this. I'm going to call up everyone who has signed up, called in to ask questions in this order. First,